Hey, Dave.
Hey, man.
What you up to?
Yeah, I'm just working on this image where it's Santa Claus, but he's the Grim Reaper.
What? What is that?
Yeah, just take a look.
Oh, well, that's a choice.
Yeah.
So, how do you do that?
I thought he'd never ask. Roll the video. Hey folks, Dave here. It is December in North Carolina where I currently live, so that gets me starting to think about all the holidays, and there's many holidays that are celebrated around the world due to various traditions, but my tradition happens to be Christmas, so my thoughts are going towards Christmas and thinking about making some sort of art piece related to Christmas. So I've been thinking about various things, winter scenes, elves. I was thinking maybe Santa Claus works. He's a magical creature. He's very interesting. He's got that red outfit, and speaking of somebody who looks kind of like him, he's very photogenic. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want the happy-go-lucky Saint Nick that solves all your problems and gives all the gifts. So I was thinking, how can I make a edgier Santa Claus? I mean, I could make him into like a badass in some way, like a gangster or a sailor or something along those lines. During the summer, I was reading a book called The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett, which is part of the Discworld series. And if you're not familiar, it is set in this fictional world called Discworld. But they have a tradition called the Hogfather, who comes on Hogwatch Eve, if I do recall. But during the novel, he goes missing, and Death, the character Death, takes over Hogfather's roles and spends the evening delivering those presents, and hilarity ensues. The comedy books, I highly recommend them. So I thought, what if I made a skeleton figure with a Santa Claus outfit? And as it turns out, I have this Grim Reaper figure right here. He is just a skeleton underneath, and he would make a good base for Santa Claus. The issue being, I need an outfit. And I looked online, and action figure outfits are A, stupid ass expensive, and B, don't seem to exist. So I'm going to have to make my own. So I really have absolutely no idea if this is going to be successful. I suspect if you're actually watching this video, spoiler alert, I figured it out. But right at this moment when I'm recording this, I have absolutely no freaking idea how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to be half-assing this thing the whole way. And really, isn't that the best way to go? So I figured step one, I found a pattern for making Santa Claus outfits online, but it's designed for like a jolly fat doll. So I need to modify it to be more svelte for a, this thing, skeleton. So I figured what I'd just start by doing is printing off that pattern and then cutting it out and creating a paper outfit for Death here, and then seeing how it fits. And then I can modify that in Photoshop to get a pattern that mostly works. And then once I have something that kind of is in the right ballpark, I can then switch to making it actually out of fabric. So step one, printing off that pattern.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.
So I've gone through several iterations of the paper robe, and I think I have something that fits fairly well. So I'm actually confident about going into the fabric stage of this project. So all I need now is just some material to make the jacket out of. That'll do.
Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both lying. nothing. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song.
All right, do a little bit of a test fit. It's roughly the right size. It's a little bit janky, but I'm going to put trim so that'll cover up the jank. I'm also going to age it to make it look like it came out of a grave, so that should be fine. I'll put trim here, down here, and here. So I just need some arms and a hat and some trim, and I'll be in good shape. So let's keep going.
I think that my Christmas has died. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. When I was just a boy, Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am. But right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song.
Remember when I said this? I have absolutely no frickin' idea. I'm going to be half-assing this thing the whole way. Turns out it was true. I didn't know what I was doing, and I kind of still don't. I ended up with something that kind of looks like what I was going for, but it's very, very janky. I used glue for fabric instead of threads, and that was because I'm not really a great sewer, and it seemed like a good way to kind of quickly prototype something, which it kind of is, but it makes everything kind of stiff and hard to pose, and the fabric doesn't fall quite right. And the pieces don't fit together quite well, but it works. There is definitely an image here, especially that last little snippet of video you saw where he was pointing at you. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have him pointing at camera like that, kind of going a Christmas is coming for you kind of vibe to it. So that's where I'm at. It's definitely not the best thing that I ever made, but I think it will do for the shot, and really that's good enough for my needs. So I am going to add some aging to it, not a lot, just a little bit of weathering, a couple stains, maybe a bit of dirt, maybe try to make this white a little bit less white. And then I'm going to take it to my studio and start setting up a shot. So let's get to that. So as you can see, I have everything ready to go. I have the Santa Claus right there, and I had in the background, I have a winter scene that I took somewhere along the lines. This skeleton guy is not that articulate, so my options are limited, but I think there's a shot in there somewhere. I just gotta find it. So one cool thing I've noticed is if you take an LED flashlight, this one here, and you shine it on the figure, he actually fluoresces. He glows in the dark. I never realized this because I never shoot him in the dark. I've always shoot him with a bunch of studio lights, so I never saw it. But in the dark, it actually glows really, really green. So I think that's going to be an interesting element to add to this photo. Maybe it might be too much, but shoot it with, shoot it without, see it in post how it actually looks. So for now, I have all the pieces that I need. So we're just gotta put them together and come up with that shot that I know it's in there somewhere, and then I'll be good to go. So let's get to it.
So looking at the shots with the black light and without the black light, I really like the green glow on the figure, so I think I'm going to go with that. I think I need an edge light in the back, so I'm going to add a light back there, reshoot this, and then go on from there. As it turns out, the battery in my UV light ran out, so I'm going to have to add the glow in post anyways. But here we go! Because the camera was so close to the figure, my depth of field was very small, so I have to use a technique called focus stacking, which uses a bunch of images and then merge together in Photoshop. Then I painted in that green glow that I like so much, added in some red eyes, did some dodging and burning, some brightness and contrast adjustments, added a vignette, and a lens flare just to give some dramatic effect. So at this point the background has completely lost detail and the white in Santa's outfit has gone yellow. So I'm going to backtrack on the color grading, toss in a tree I got from a free background website, and then put a star on top. Now this is looking much, much better. I'm going to call this one done.
So there you go. There's my final image. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it was my finest work. There was a lot of things that kind of went wrong with this build, some things that just didn't work out, but I think that's okay. There is value in the experience of going through a project, even if it doesn't end up being a rousing success. We learn way more from our mistakes than we do from our successes. And well, I learned some things from this, so bonus there. And the image, it's not that bad. It's not the best. It's not that bad, so I think job done. So a couple of the lessons that I learned are, one, that you shouldn't glue fabric if you want it to be flexible. One of the things that went wrong for me is I wanted the rope to flow, and when I glued it all together, it wasn't really flowing, so I guess sewing is going to be a thing that I'm going to have to do in my future if I want to do this again. The other thing is that I really need a more articulate skeleton figure. I had trouble finding skeleton figures. This is like one of the only ones I found. But if you happen to know of any really articulate skeleton figures, please drop it in the comments below so I can check it out. So I'm going to put a time-lapse speed build video out on my channel, and I'll drop a link below so you'll be able to see the editing process in Photoshop from start to finish. And hopefully that'll be entertaining for you all. So I hope all you folks have a great holidays and a happy new year. And if you want to see what I get up to next year, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.